What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of a Lesson at Headbanging Podcast. Happy New Year! Yeah, I know it's almost March, but it's my first episode of the new year, and I got to say Happy New Year to all my fellow rock and metal fans out there. If you're a subscriber to the YouTube page or the podcast, thank you so much for the patience as always. And if you're a new listener, a new viewer, I welcome you. Hit the subscribe right now on YouTube. Hit the subscribe on podcasting lands like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast. So wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, subscribe today. So I was going to hold off on this episode here, but after the big news yesterday, February 21st of 2024, the big news, Slayer. That's right. Fucking Slayer. Return back after 5 years, 4.5, 5 years, whatever. 5 years. Slayer is back. To me, it was like Christmas morning, right? Opening it up this Christmas morning, Slayer's back. We will talk about it right here in the show. But that's right. This show is back. Slayer's back. AC/DC is back, and Power Trip is back. Not the festival, the band Power Trip is back. So a lot of returning stuff coming back on this episode. But before I continue on, follow me on my social media platforms, A Lesson in Headbanging Podcast, right now on Facebook, X, Instagram, and right here on YouTube. Hit the like and hit the subscribe. As I mentioned in the podcast, I told you, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcast. So if you feel like listening to this via audio form, very simple, A Lesson in Headbanging Podcast today. Follow me on my secondary podcast. If you're a fan of pro wrestling, you love to beat the crap out of somebody, not in the pit, but probably in the pro wrestling ring. Into the Square Circle Podcast, available right now here on YouTube. Into the Square Circle Podcast, available on all major podcast outlets, just like this one as well. All right, I'm going to shut up. Let's cut the intro and let's talk about Slayer. Fuck yeah. All right, folks, let's talk about Slayer, mother. All right, so let's talk about it. I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
But for some people, they're not excited. There's a mixed bag right now. But we will get into that shortly, okay? So let's talk about the news, right? Yesterday afternoon of the time, Louder Than Life has released the full-on lineup for this year's Louder Than Life 2024, which will be at Louisville, Kentucky. By the way, we will talk about the festival next episode, and I promise you I won't take long for that. I will have a separate episode talking about all the festivals, including Louder Than Life, so stay tuned. But one of the days, I believe it's like a Friday or Saturday, Slayer is headlining the festival, right? You got Slipknot one day, Slayer the other, Korn, who else is Motley Crue? So Slayer. And shortly after, like a couple minutes after, Chicago's very own Riot Fest. Riot Fest has announced that they're gonna have Slayer on the show. It's crazy. 5 years ago, I was at the final Chicago show for Slayer. The show, it was billed as the final Chicago, Milwaukee area Slayer show. Here's your chance. Obviously, the final show of Slayer in the state of Illinois, which I believe was in Moline, for the final campaign tour with Phyllis Semos and the Legal, and who else was on it? Primus was on it. The final Illinois show. No, I didn't travel to it, but I got to see Slayer one more time in the Chicagoland area. Now, 5 years later, they are back, and they're returning back to the Riot Fest, the same festival they end their career here in Chicago. So those are the only two shows that are announced right now, Riot Fest and Louder Than Life, the return of Slayer. No official tour, We don't know what's beyond past that point or before it. Now we are getting close to March. A lot of shows are being booked, right? A lot of tours. Obviously, I think festivals across the United States is slowly unraveling. So dipping into fall time. So now is the time to release any can't speak. Sound like fucking Hotel and Transylvania, blah blah blah, whatever. All right, so now's the time to release the tour dates for the summer or fall, right? Now be the time to do that. So the question is Slayer got something more up their sleeves? Um, that's the next interesting question here. Now, let's talk about the mixed bag here. A lot of people are happy. I'm happy. And then you got the fair shares of people out there that are disappointed as well. And I get that. I respect that. Um, there's a lot of factors into this, right? I'm not seeing it. No Lombardo, no Jeff, no Slayer. I'm not doing it. Okay, this has been the same lineup for since what 20, I don't know. It's been a couple years since this lineup, minus Lombardo leaving. Paul Bostaff back in drums. So this has been the same lineup for a couple years, right? So, don't go. Just don't go. But, those jack-offs going to go on the internet. Lombardo, no Jeff, no Slayer. Okay? Fucking go see Nickelback. Go see fucking Taylor Swift. I don't give a shit. And go somewhere else. So we got those people. And then you got the other people who are like, cash grab, money. Yeah, there's a little bit of that part of my mind. And that's a big thing. An average dipshit can figure it out. A farewell tour on the marquee and any tour. If any tour knows it's a fucking cash grab. I mean, everybody knows it. Oh, farewell tour. They're going to be back in 5 years. They're going to be back in 2 years. I guarantee it. There's no such thing as a farewell tour. Name a band. I'm going to challenge you, the people. Name a band that marquee the final tour. Farewell. We will never come back. And they come back. Name a band that stays true and it gone away. Put the damn instruments down. Go on the golf course. Go fishing. Go to Hawaii. Never see them again. Name a band. Not a single damn band you could think of has gone away. Maybe one band that never marqueed a farewell that's somewhat gone away is the band Rush, right? Geddy Lee, Alec Lifeson, and Neil Peart, rest in peace. The one band that never marqueed a farewell, we will never know if they will get back together to celebrate Neil's career, right? And we get Mike Portnoy on drums. I'm not starting this shit here, but you get what I'm saying? Rush, another band that kind of disappeared. Fans want to come back, but they never said they were quitting. They never said they were a final tour. They just kind of went away. And, Geddy Lee's doing his book tour, talking about Rush stories, wanting fans to have Rush to get back on the road and do it one more time. Celebrating the life and legacy of Neil Peart. But now the question is, could Slayer have gone down that route, right? Could they done that? They could have, right? Again, I do a pro wrestling podcast, Into the Square Circle podcast. The term in wrestling is, how do we supposed to miss you if you don't go away, right? A lot of bands are like that. They go on the hiatus for a long time. Nobody quits, right? The band doesn't, disbands. Maybe got members or in various projects like Creed, right? I hate using that, but Creed's another band. Creed never quit. Creed never said farewell. They just kind of disbanded, right? In the meantime, had a small hiatus for a couple years, right? Scott Stapp is doing his own solo thing. Mark Tremonti's doing Alter Bridge and the Tremonti solo band. So why couldn't Slayer go in the vein like Creed did? Like Shadows Fall, another band, a phenomenal band. They stopped, right? Jonathan Donay went going on Anthrax. You have the drummer. Ah, shit. It's gonna bother me. Also playing Overkill. I know his name. It's the right tip of my tongue. I'm not pointing on my head. Yeah, he's an Overkill, right? Play drumming for Overkill. Uh, these guys are taking a break. Shadows Fall. Brian Ferry has a real 9 to 5 job. So, and then here they are getting back together doing some festivals across the United States. But guess what? There's a demand. People want them back. People want to see Shadows Fall. Same thing with Slayer. Nobody wants to see Slayer go away. I sure the hell didn't. But you can always take a break. Go away for 5 to 6 years. Slayer never said quits, right? Even if you don't have a brothership commodity like Metallica, like Trivium, the bands they're like brotherhood type band, right? They're very tight. They text each other, and if you know the history of Slayer, maybe you don't, but Slayer never been that kind of band. We'll hang out and go to charities. The band will go hang out at the pub after a show, or go to the practice room and form a whole set backstage. There's no camaraderie between the Slayer camp. Some reason Slayer is one of those bands where they go on stage, they do the business, right? Some people say they go on stage and do their magic, right? But I call it black magic for obvious reason, no pun intended. But they go on stage and do their job. They put their instruments down and they disperse. They do their own thing, right? Kerry King does his own thing. He has his own circle. Tom Araya has his own circle. Even Jeff Hayman, rest in peace, had his own circle. And we see interviews all the time. These guys have their own thing. And then when they have a show, they get together, they go on stage. They melt the faces of all the fans out in the crowd in the front row, and then they go backstage, and that's it. That's Slayer. I just that's the way the Slayer world works, right? So we've seen numerous interviews about how Slayer communicates and how they are, and I guess their way of communication has gone through their management or agent. It's just the way the world Slayer world works, right? I assume Motley Crue did the same exact thing when Vince, Tommy, and Nikki, they all hated each other, right? All right, well, it's contact management and trying to glue the band back together. Right? Bob Rock and Metallica. All right, shut up, Lars. Shit like that. So you think management could be the primary contact, or look. So let's go back to January, February. Kerry King has announced his solo band, right? The Kerry King Band, and it's a collective band members, right? You have Phil Demmel, right? Former guitarist for Machine Head. I guess you could say former guitarist of Violence. Mark, and I keep getting his last name, keep saying his last name wrong. Ogega, whatever his last name. But he's a great vocalist from Death Angel, one of my favorite thrash metal bands out there. And now he is leading charge of vocals for the Kerry King solo band, right? On drums, Paul Bostaff, again from Slayer. Kerry King wants him back, right? You want him in his solo band. And then on bass, Kyle Sanders. Now I'm not talking about Colonel Sanders from KFC, the chicken spices here. Kyle Sanders. His bass work in Hell Yeah. Rest in peace, Vinnie Paul. Yeah, Kyle Sanders played bass in Hell Yeah. Hell of a bass player. And he's part of the Kerry King's project. And they released a new single, right? They released a single. And when I heard it, I closed my eyes and Slayer was just written over, right? Minus Mark and vocals. And pretty badass. I enjoyed it. I love the new single from Kerry King. Well, Kerry King did a little bit of press. Did press with the Rolling Stones magazine and told them that, him and Tom Araya had very little contact, right? And they don't call each other. They don't text each other. So you haven't spoken to him in a couple of years. You can find it right now on Rolling Stone, their article with Kerry King. It's out there. And yeah, man, he's like, I haven't talked to Tom in a while. And they were very honest. They asked Kerry, if there's any possibility we get Slayer back together, and not a chance in hell, all right? And then he started burying Dave Lombardo due to business, money and blah blah blah. There's issues between both of them, and there's a zero chance in hell we'll get Dave Lombardo joining the Slayer reunion here of some sorts. So that's not happening. So having Slayer back on stage together was very, very low chance, like 1%. So I'm like, all right. And then in my mind, mentality rise, I accepted it. I accepted Slayer's not going to come back. Kerry King's band's probably going to be the closest we'll get to a Slayer. Until yesterday, February 21st of 2024, we found out Slayer's coming back. And wow, I mean, I got a lot of people happy, got a lot of people frustrated. Now let's talk about the people. Let's talk about the people that are actually frustrated. And I get it. And then let's go back to what I was talking about, cash grab. A lot of people spent a lot of money on the final tour, right? A lot of people spent a lot of money on the VIP tickets, buying all the T-shirts. They pulled an arm, a leg, a kidney, a heart, whatever they sell online in the black market. People have spent a lot of money for this. A lot of people believed it. A lot of certain band members within Slayer, their wives, I'm not going to name call drop here, said there's not a chance in hell Slayer will get back together. And then now we've seen the Slayers on two major festivals here in the United States in 2024. So that's where the disappointing comes into, and a lot of people don't like that shit. And we've seen a lot of bands like Motley Crue tears up the contract. Kiss went through multiple retirement tours. Ozzy, a lot of bands, a lot of Scorpions, a lot of bands are. This is it. No, we're going cold turkey after the end of this tour. That's it, and then they come back, doing a whole new album. So it just the fans are just not tired of this farewell shit. People are not taking this lightly now. It's a common thing in the industry, and it's hard to believe it now these days. And I get it. I totally fucking get it. And especially spend all that money on the final tour. You bust your ass off, doing a lot of overtime to collect money to purchase these items. I'd be pissed off too, right? Same thing with the Motley Crue thing, right? You spend, shit ton of grand of money to meet the band, knowing it'll be the final time just for them to come back and do a stadium tour. I'd be pissed off too. You got yourself in debt. You're paying off, all this money to meet the band. You have all the right to be pissed off, right? So, as of yesterday, February 21st, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here really quick. This is from blabbermouth.net. So let me share the screen with you guys here. And so Lisa Holt, the wife of Gary Holt, right? You know Gary Holt, right? Guitarist for Slayer, of course. And one of my other favorite thrash metal bands of all time, Exodus. And I met the band a couple of years ago. They're phenomenal, great guys. Exodus, one of my favorite thrash bands. Another favorite of mine. I can't just say one of my favorites because they're one of my many favorites out there. Lisa Holt, the wife of Slayer guitarist Gary Holt, has defended the band's decision to reunite this fall for a couple of headlining festival gigs 5 years after Slayer wrapped up the farewell tour. Earlier Wednesday, February 21st, it was announced the Holt bassist, Gary Holt, bassist singer Tom Araya, guitarist Kerry King, and drummer Paul Bolstoff will perform at Chicago Riot Fest September 22nd and Louisville's Louder Than Life September 27th. We're being billed as the band's first gig since November 2019. A short time after the news of Slayer comeback hit the wire, Lisa Holt took to her Facebook page to write under public posts. Yes, it's true. It's an exciting adventure for the band and the fans. And I quote here, to all the people saying they're liars, they must ran out of money, and it's not Slayer without so. That's kind of what I just talked about here. I have an idea for all of you. Don't go. And I agree with her 100%. If you're going to bitch about it, don't go. For all the people who did go to the final tour dates and enjoyed it, awesome. This isn't a tour, it's some dates. It's great news, she added. And everyone that thinks they know the inside info you can't possibly know. So just enjoy the fact this is the amazing band that will play some amazing shows this year. Go or don't. Nobody cares. Beautiful. Spot on, Lisa Holt. Spot on. All right. In the statement confirming Slayer's return, Tom Araya said, nothing compares to 90 minutes when you're on stage playing live, sharing the intense energy with our fans. To be honest, we missed that. Kerry King added, I have missed playing live. Absolutely. Slayer means a lot to our fans, and they mean a lot to us. It would be 5 years since we last seen them. All right, let's come back here. So, here we go. You got the comments from Lisa Holt. My internet. Oh, hold on here. My camera's off. There we go. So here we go. We're welcome back here, folks. And there we go, man. It's your statement from Lisa Holt. As I talked about it here on the show, you have the right to be pissed off. You spent all that money. I get it. You have all the rights. You have all the rights. You got the people who refuses to see them. Same thing with the Pantera situation. I'm wearing a t-shirt, right? No Vinny, no Dime, no Pantera. Again, I'm a fan that never seen Pantera back in the heyday, the original members. I've seen Vinnie Paul in the past, rest in peace. Never seen Dimebag, never seen Damage Plan. So I had never seen Phil in the solo band, even though they played the club down the street many times. So it's my opportunity to see Pantera and see the songs played in justice, or I don't know if that's the right word, but in a celebration of Dimebag and Vinny, and what a way to do it. And I can't wait to see him this summer with Metallica. So I never seen the band, so this is my opportunity to see him. A lot of people are like, I seen him, I won't see him again. And I respect the decision because they want to have the last image in their mind they seen the original members, right? Same thing with AC/DC, which we'll talk about that very shortly. So, again, I'm excited, right? As a fan, I'm excited, and I'll still see him no matter what. And did I drop a shit ton of money on them on the final tour? No, not really. I did bought a couple t-shirts live. I did see him multiple runs on their final tours. So of course I did see him. Now the question is, what's the future for Slayer? Is it confirmed if it's going to be more than 2 festival dates? We don't know, right? This was kept quiet. When the Louder Than Life, the poster got released yesterday, February 21st, there was already a leaked format already out. And I'm not going to reveal the source, but there was a source I follow that he released a leaked lineup of Louder Than Life hours prior. And it's the same exact lineup. It was spot on, but for the Slayer spot, it had X on it. They X'd out the headliner spot. And I assume Danny Wimmer Festivals and the whole office team were smart. And just in case some weasel within the office department decided to leak it out, let's put the X on it, keep it a secret. And they did a great job keeping it a secret. If there were any rumors out there, I'm kind of curious to see where the rumors came from. What was the rumors? So there's a lot of good questions coming out of this. I want to know as a fan, right? Is it really true they really missed the fans after 5 years? Is it really? Come on, let's be honest here. And I won't be pissed off if they say, we're here just to collect a major paycheck. Danny Wimmer has a lot of digits on the check and we're going to cash it in. Yeah, you know what? That's okay. That's fine. I get it. I would do it too, man. All that fucking money in my account. Hell yeah, I would do it. Hell yeah. But then I would enjoy seeing the fans as well, right? Slayer, the monikers back on in the backboards, Louder Than Life or Riot Fest. Good to see the logo back, right? So, either way you go, I'm happy. I'm happy. And drop it in the comment section at YouTube. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited? Are you pissed off? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. You're a fan. I'm a fan. Will you go to the shows? I'm thinking about taking a road trip down to Louisville. I'm discussing my options, see how to get my tickets. And Chicago, man. Chicago's very young, right in my backyard, right? Well, not literally my backyard, but right down the road from me. And then will I go to Riot Fest? Hell yeah, why not? Slayer's playing an exclusive Midwest show. There's only 2 of them here in the United States and around the world so far. I don't think any major festivals like Bloodstock or Wavakin or Download is going to hire Slayer. We don't know yet. So I don't work for the inside business. I'm just a fan just like you. So we'll have to wait and see if they're going to be spanning the globe. But right now, here in the United States, we only got 2 shows as of right now, made to the public. And I'm going to try to hit both of them. I'm going to try. So we got that going on. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we'll talk about AC/DC. Ooh, yeah. All right. Easy here, Brian Johnson. We're going to talk about it right here on the Lesson of Headbanging Podcast. All right, welcome back, folks. Let's talk about AC/DC. Oh, 30 days. I hurt my throat. So about AC/DC really quick, because if you've been keeping tabs, you've been living under a rock, and maybe you're busy working, you just don't give a rat's ass in life. And AC/DC has announced that they're going to be touring in Europe, not in the United States, in Europe, Germany. And if you live in that side of the country, congratulations, you're going to see AC/DC. And they were teasing the past couple of weeks on social media, 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, and every day has been a number until Monday, last Monday. They announced that they're going on tour, power up on tour. And it's going to be interesting because this lineup is different. Now, the festival power trip, not the band. Now, we're going to talk about the festival power trip that went down out in the desert in California, 2023. You know, Iron Maiden, Metallica, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Tool, all these guys, all the major bands played on this festival. You had all the guys, minus Malcolm, rest in peace. But you had Brian Johnson on vocals, Phil Rudd on drums, Cliff Williams on bass, Stevie Young at rhythm, and Angus on guitar. The whole AC/DC crew was there. We got a brand spanking new tour dates in Europe and on the other side of the world. And, they're changing up the lineup. Cliff Williams on bass. Gone. Phil Rudd on drums. Gone. So we got 2 different guys playing in here. So let me look it up here really quick here. And again, if you keeping tabs or not. So we got Matt Lang, L-A-U-G, Matt Log playing on drums, and Chris Chaney playing on bass. And you're like, who the hell are these guys? And let's talk about Matt. Matt Leg is going to be playing with the band, who's 55 years old, American drummer who played with Alanis Morissette. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of Alanis Morissette watching this right now. Alice Cooper. Everybody knows Uncle Alice Cooper. I love Alice Cooper. Slash a Snake Pit. Got to bring that back. Vasco Rossi. Not a damn clue. And then Matt moved to Los Angeles after graduating from South Florence High School in 1986, attending college in L.A. Matt became a sought-after studio drummer. So there we go. Obviously, Matt played a Slash a Snake Pit on the American European leg of Stiff Upper Lip tour with AC/DC. So I guess a little bit connection here with AC/DC. Now let's talk about Chris Chaney really quick here, playing on bass. And Chris here is best known for the basis of Jane's Addiction, all right? Everybody's a big fan of it. And as a member of the Alanis Morissette touring recording band, Chaney was also a member of Taylor Hawkins, rest in peace, baby, and the Coattail Writers and Camp Freddy, as well as being a prolific and versatile session musician, right? Having played with artists including Joe Cocker. Joe Cocker, I like that name. Cocker, Shakira, Slash, Avril Lavigne. I'm drinking too much coffee. Sarah Valerius. I thought it was like a pasta name. Celine Dion. Sure. Shinedown. Wow, but that's a collective resume right there. That's a mixed bag. He also was part of a all-star super group, Royal Machines with Dave Navarro, James McGish, Mark McGrath from Sugar Gray, Josh Freed from the Foo Fighters, and Billy Morrison from Billy Idol. So, look, we know Cliff Williams talked about retiring, no more touring. Another guy, right? Part of the farewell. And we're done. AC/DC never said they're going to quit. Just Cliff Williams said, I'm tired of this fucking touring. 50 plus years, I'm going home. I'm going to sit my ass at home and watch some TV, some chips. I don't know if he said that, but, he's planning on retiring. Phil Rudd on drums. He had a history of legal issues, right? And the guy was a pimp, a drug lord. I don't know what's going on over there on the other side of the world, but he was going through legal issues. I don't think that played a role in him not being part of the AC/DC, but for some reason, gone. I want to know who's making all the executive decisions here. Angus Young, the Primes. Actually, thinking about it, he's the only original member left in the band. As of right now, I'm being serious. Malcolm's gone. Rest in peace. And he's no longer here. Obviously, we know the history of Brian Johnson. Yeah, Brian Johnson feels like he's the original member. He's a key member of AC/DC, but he's not the OG since the very start. So Angus is the only OG. He probably does the majority of the band's decisions, you think, right? He decides if we want to get back on tour. Hey, Brian. Yeah, AC/DC. Yeah, let's go back on tour. I don't know what the discussion is within the management and the AC/DC camp. They're very quiet. They're very private. People will come across them in Vancouver. That's where they like to go recording. They'll snap some pictures, share it on the internet. Hey, they're in studio. What's going on? There's a lot of AC/DC gearboxes everywhere. We don't know what's going on because they're private, and we respect that. They've always been a private band. And kudos to them for keeping shit quiet and secret. And but look, there was already stuff leaking out in Europe. AC/DC's gonna be playing in the stadium next year. There was already rumors going around, leakage from town halls and in the cities in Europe. That they got the word that AC/DC's coming to town next year, later on this year, doing stadium tours. So we'll have to wait and see if they're gonna do a U.S. run here. And of course, I never seen them. And again, for the people out there, no Malcolm, no Phil Rudd, no Chris Slade, no AC/DC, no Bon Scott, no AC/DC. Oh, fucking come on. I never saw him, and I was this close to seeing him with Malcolm in the band. Back in 2009, or no, 2011, the Black Guy, no, was it the Black Ice tour? Or the album after Black Ice? They were doing stadium tours, and they played Wrigley Field in Chicago. I was this close to buying. And my wife's like, just wait till you come home. We'll discuss. Hey, fucking hell. And then I leave work, and the damn show was sold out. So I'm pissed. And I never had a chance to see AC/DC. So if they're going to do it in the United States, I'm going to go see them. Then you got those people that saw them back in the day, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And that was your last impression of seeing them. And you don't want to see this current lineup. I respect that decision, and you have all the right not to go. But don't go online and start bitching, right? Just don't go. And again, a lot of people saw them at Power Trip with Phil on drums and Cliff on bass. And that's the last time you saw him. God damn it, God bless you. This is probably the last thing you'll probably will see him. Unless you want to see him under this new lineup. Why are these guys in the band? Again, I talked about Cliff wanted to retire. Why is Phil Rudd? We don't know. We don't know answers behind it. Again, they didn't pick young guys, right? Fucking from, Asking Alexandria, session players, VLMI. I don't think these guys are gonna do Degent on Back in Black, right? They're not gonna get younger session guys. They're gonna get middle-aged guys, couple years younger than them, right in the 50s, 40s. These guys are probably in their 70s, so they don't want young whippersnappers in their 20s, doing some, fucking hardcore jump and hardcore headbanging on stage to, Dirty Dean's Under Jeep. I don't think the band wants that direction. Again, it's a brand. AC/DC is a brand. You go to Walmart and you see AC/DC, it's AC/DC, right? You think of Back in Black, Hells and Bells, For the casual fans who like to pop in here and there in the rock world, casual fans that watch CMT and fucking the Golden Bachelorette and ACDC, Enter Sadman. I love that band. You got those people, the casual fans, right? Oh my God. Oh. And you got the hardcore rock fans like us, like, hey, fuck you. You got the wrong band. You don't know Jack. Name an album or name a song that's not a Back in Black. Just fucking give me some riff raff. Give me some the Boogie Band off the Ball Breaker album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time from AC/DC. Ball Breaker, Hell Caesar. Man, that tells you I love AC/DC right there. But you know what? Again, take it or leave it. If they come to the United States, will you go? Drop it in the comment section if you love to see them. And if they do come here in the U.S., I will be there. I will be there. Again, never seen them. It's my chance to see them. You never know when they will go away. They never done a farewell tour, and hopefully they don't do that. 50 plus years. Celebrate the life and legacy of AC/DC. Celebrate the great Bon Scott, baby. Bon Scott. Malcolm Young, celebrate the life of them, maybe, and hopefully if they come to the U.S., I will be there to join them and celebrate the life of 50 years of AC/DC. So there we go, and then we'll end the show talking about Power Trip, the band Power Trip. They are back. We will talk about it right here in a Lesson in Headbanging Podcast. Yeah. All right, welcome back, folks. And let's talk about the great band out of Texas called the Power Trip. Great band, and they are back, right? They are back, and after we lost the great Riley Gale, and rest in peace, baby. We miss you, we love you, and they've been playing one-offs the past couple months. I know some of the family members were pissed off because they did a surprise a gig with Riley Gale. Without Riley Gale, I should say. Let me correct myself here. So Power Trip is back, and this article is from metalinjection.net. I'm sorry, metalinjection.net. After a surprise set after a fugitive set in Austin back in December, which we talked about, Power Trip has announced their first show back at the No Values Festival, which we'll talk about it next episode, on June 8th in Pomona, California. Much like the surprise reunion show, Power Trip will be fronted by fugitive vocalist Seth Gilmore. Okay, so we got Seth Gilmore fronting Power Trip. And this is coming from Power Trip themselves, a statement, and I quote, "Nearly 4 years ago to the day, unbeknownst to us that we would perform for the last time as Power Trip," the band wrote. "It's been a difficult road, but since then, marked by deep pain, grief, and everything else that came with losing our brother, Riley." Let's continue on here. And I quote here, "We know this can't be undone, and it will always remain part of us. But we have thought deeply about the future of Power Trip and what will always come back to us. And the band was founded on resilience, perseverance, and most importantly, a love for music and all the people it has brought us closer to along the way. We will never have the words to convey our appreciation of the enduring support we received offer over the years. We feel as though the time is right to get back on stage for all of you who have been throughout our existence as a band. With that, we are excited to announce a round of upcoming 2024 performances, starting with the No Value Festival on June 8th in SoCal." Here we go, unquote, from Power Trip. All right. They are a young band. They are a young band. Why quit? Why quit? AC/DC never quit. They just got a new vocalist, right? Who else? There's a lot of bands that just kind of lost a key member. Cliff Burton, died. Rest in peace, baby. What they do, they picked it back up, got a new bass player. So you just keep shit going. The band never just lives on forever. You have a dedication fans waiting for you that's hungry, that wants the band back. You pick it up, you continue on. Yeah, I get it, man. It's grief. It's painful when you lose a key member, the vocalist that everybody loves, and it just just trying to figure out what's the next step. And you can take long as you want as a break. Again, going away for a couple of years is always good as a band, mentally and physically, but also keep the Power Trip name alive and keep the fans happy. Let the fans know that you guys are still around kicking ass. You guys are regrouping and going back out and doing just as any songs with the new vocalists and pay tribute to Riley wherever you go across the world. Same thing with Black Dahlia Murder, right? Rest in peace, Trevor. They're out there kicking ass, and I miss Trevor. I wish I saw Trevor in Black Dahlia, but I hope they could do like what they're doing and pay tribute to Riley all across the world as a fan. So I'm excited they're back and doing a couple shows and to wait and see how the future holds for Power Trip. I'm pretty excited for it. Are you guys excited? Are you guys pissed off? Are you happy? Let your true, honest opinions be heard right here on the show. YouTube, drop in the comment section or anything on the show about Slayer, AC/DC, comment section down below. A Less Than Headbanging Podcast available on all major podcasts and lists like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Hit the subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, X, A Less Than a Headbanging Podcast. That's right there. Facebook and X. You can keep tabs on all festival news, all touring news. I always post stuff on there. I'm very active on there. So if you want to find out more on upcoming tours, you want to follow right now, man. It's very simple. Follow me on my secondary podcast, Into the Square Circle Podcast, if you're a fan of pro wrestling. All right, folks. I promise next episode I won't take forever. Next episode, we will talk about the tours. I've been lacking on. We'll talk about that. And just random stuff to talk about. And I got album pick of the week. Bought some kick-ass vinyls I bought from the local record store. We'll talk about that as well. And whatever the hell's I want to talk about in the world of rock and heavy metal. So until next time, my friends, stay heavy as always. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody.